The world's booming population is increasing the demand for power. As the effects of global warming become more evident, the world is in search of an alternative to coal power. The solution? Nuclear power.
It's Channel 4 News at 6 o'clock.
Good evening, I'm Brian Palma for Channel 4 Evening News. One of the more popular alternative energies is nuclear energy because it has no carbon dioxide emissions. As opposed to other alternative energies, nuclear is a constant and reliable energy source. For instance, wind power can only generate electricity when the winds are blowing. While nuclear depends on harvesting uranium, a non-renewable source, the known supply of uranium will last hundreds of years. A professor at the University of Western Ontario explains the benefits of nuclear energy and the difficulties of managing the radioactive waste.
You can produce energy as cheaply by nuclear power as you can by running water, almost as cheaply as running water over a dam. But you don't touch it for 10 years because it really is lethal. And then you would put it into what they call temporary storage, and these would be metallic or concrete above ground containers. And you can keep it there as long as you can guarantee that the concrete or the metal storage facility that you put it in is resilient and hasn't decayed. You can dig a hole deep into a rock. Canada's got lots of rock. So you would dig about 1 kilometer down, and you will then place it in the rock, surround it with various materials, and then seal off the rock, and you go about 0.5 kilometer underground to do this. And so it's just like any other waste, except it's radioactive. This is a toxic material which is dangerous. There's always a risk if you don't handle it properly. The safeguards and the construction costs are extremely expensive. It's certainly not an issue in the short term. So if the world has issues, they're tomorrow's issues.
This brings up the concern of the Global Energy Initiative. Ria Jankowski is here to tell us more about this initiative.
Thank you, Brian. The Global Energy Initiative proposes to return all spent nuclear fuel back to the country where it was refined for waste processing. Since Canada is the leading exporter of uranium, we would be expected to dispose of nuclear waste. This has enormous implications for Canada. By entombing the nuclear waste in concrete, essentially we would be packaging it for storage, not dealing with the problem. In the long term, instead of facing carbon emissions, we would be facing excessive radioactive material.
What will happen if we sign the Global Nuclear Energy Partnership? Let's look 50 years into the future.
Global warming is on the decline. By using nuclear power, we have managed to decrease carbon emissions by 60% since the early 2000s, effectively stopping the trend of global warming. There has been a steady decline in tropical storms, weather temperatures are not as extreme, and the instances of drowning deaths among polar bears has sharply declined.
In fact, this picture is deceiving. We still do not have a solution for the waste management of spent uranium. Since 1971, researchers have been investigating environmentally sound methods of uranium disposal. The WNA states, some forms of nuclear waste require deep and permanent burial. Does hiding the nuclear waste make it go away?
Approximately 85,000 waste fuel bundles are generated each year in Canadian nuclear reactors. It is estimated that there is currently over 5 million waste fuel bundles in storage in Canada. Because of signing the Global Nuclear Energy Partnership, there's even more. Where is all this waste going?
Back to today. Is it too late for you to take action?
It's not too late for you to take action. Alternative energy sources exist, like wind energy, which does not produce any emissions or waste. However, wind turbines are an intermittent source of energy and often require land on valuable coastal sites. Biomass is a more reliable source of energy, but the production process is prohibitively expensive. More alternatives like solar, thermal, and tidal energy have other advantages and disadvantages. If all these alternatives are used in balance, we can effectively reduce our carbon imprint while ensuring other problems like nuclear waste aren't created. Nuclear is a band-aid solution that will only postpone further environmental damage.
As Ivy graduates, your most effective form of change will come from being the discussion leader in social groups. It's not hard to do. Talk about nuclear energy and the alternative energies available. You don't have to advocate one form of energy over the other. Just raise the issue and get people thinking. You want to plant the seed of various alternatives to nuclear.
As you begin to establish your career, you have opportunities to speak your mind as a shareholder or government lobbyist. This may be accomplished through anonymous monetary donations or through discussions with the intention of influencing others and changing their beliefs.
Now you are a senior decision maker. You have the power to choose the systems and structures to implement and see that they include alternative energies. By shaping the structure, you can influence your corporate culture to include alternative energy.
At this final stage in your career, you are a role model to the next generation of employees. These future leaders will be inspired by your success and willing to listen to your advice. Saying a few simple words about nuclear energy and alternatives will make an impact. You can continue to shape your organization and the business world even as you retire.
It's not too late.
Of the end of the world, but it's feeling just like every other morning before. Now I wonder what my life is gonna mean